Hey now. Hey, the Rummeister is here.
Yeah.
Right on, man. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I am awesome, dude. I'm very good, and I'm very excited about tonight. This is a long this show has been in the works for a long time, believe it or not. So we're gonna have a great time talking about this film. And welcome everybody. My name's Johnny Beane. This is Steve Anderson, also known as the Rummeister.
Yes.
Hosting this evening, we'll be talking about the 1984 classic film, The Wildlife, which we'll talk about it. It's just so cool. Cool movie. But hey, what is today? It's October 22nd, 2021. It's 8:07 p.m. Eastern, 5:07 Pacific, out here in Santa Cruz, California, and up north where the Rummeister is.
Yes.
As well. I think we're in the same time zone. I know that. So we're pretty close, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Somewhat.
it's about 2 hours to San Francisco if you're flying from here. So
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
It's not bad. So hey, welcome you guys. And hey, if this is your first time here, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell. We're live here on YouTube every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. We talk about Van Halen. I mean, it's what we do. It's what we love. And like Superman. Da, 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 da. Van Halen, man. So we're live on YouTube, and here on YouTube, I've got a few announcements. We have a channel membership program, and the top tier of channel members here on John Beane TV are the executive producers, and they are Dave Ennis, Vinyl Freak 5150, Mike Neese, Music Therapy Laz, Majestic PB and J Cat, Wayno, False Flag, Andy Carson, Michael B, R-Habs, The Chad, Lenny Lou and Mary, James Gum, John Moronic, Stephen Franklin, Michael Smith, the Captain, Thomas Santiago, Joe Christian, and Steve Carmichael. Oh, you got one of those too. Look at that.
I've been around a long time.
Yeah. Man. So that is the top tier of channel membership here on Johnny Beane TV. And if you'd like to become a channel member, click that join button below, right below the 24 thumbs ups. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you. Make sure to leave a thumbs up. Hopefully, there you go in the chat. Oh, good, it's working finally. In the chat, there we go. Let's see what else. We're live. Okay, so we're live here on YouTube, as I said. And if you'd like to help support the show, support the channel. Any super chats will change the color of my lights. So if you look behind me here, we have what's called the Guitar Moire. Has all the guitars, has these cool lights in here. Look at that. There's the album, and we'll be talking about that, you guys. Calm down. Calm down. But anyway, the Guitar Moire, any super chats for the YouTube channel will change the color of those lights in real time. So if you have any questions or comments, or if you just want to be seen in the chat, The little dollar sign below is a super chat. It'll change the color of the lights. Your comment or question will be highlighted. It'll just be incredible. So basically, if you want to shout out, I mean, that's basically what it is. There we go. That's an option for you guys. We're also live on the Johnny Beane TV Facebook page, where if you'd like to help support over there, we have what are called Facebook Stars, which is a digital gift that helps in the production of these shows. And moving forward here on the show, we're actually live in a lot of places. We're live at the Van Halen 1974 to Forever Facebook group, where we're just about 63,000 members. We're also live tonight in the EVH Gear Fans Live Facebook group. We're live in the Johnny Beane TV Facebook group. We're also live on the Johnny Beane, what is that? EVH Gear Live Facebook page. We're live on Twitter at Johnny Beane. We're also streaming live for you tonight. And we're also streaming live on my personal Facebook page, where I just hit the 5,000 friend mark.
Wow.
So I actually know 5,000 people. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
So we're live a lot of different places tonight. And again, any questions or comments or whatever you want to do, wherever you're watching from, wherever the live chat is, make sure you participate in the chat. And do you want to read who's here? Do you see the chat? Where are you watching? Are you watching in the StreamYard?
I'm on YouTube. I'm on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, read some names in the YouTube, and then I'll read some Facebook names, because I get a whole collection of like all of them here.
Yeah. So the guy who gave me my nickname, the Rummeister, is right there. R2R3 locking nut. We got Janice in the house, Sharon, Wiggis in the house, Zach Thong, David Stratocaster Ennis in the house, Thomas Santiago. He's been here a long time, Thomas. We've got Zach Thong, Quentin James. Hey, Quentin. Quentin's in the house. I got to grab my Bumblebee guitar now. he demands to see that. Jeff Davidson in the house. All Dave, all night. There's a David Lee Roth reference. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. James G. He says howdy. We've got Rico B in the house.
Marcy Douglas on Facebook. Marcy has 600 Facebook friends.
All right, Marcy.
That's awesome.
I call Marcy MD, Marcy Douglas, MD, medical doctor. Yeah. Magic Man from Sacramento, California, in the house. I have a story about Sacramento in a few minutes here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Stephen Franklin in the house. Nelson Rodriguez. Oh, and my new favorite name on Johnny's show, Majestic PB&J Cat.
Yeah, Majestic. Hey.
Yeah. We got Dan of New Jersey and Steve Carmichael. Steve Carmichael.
Good to see you, man. And yeah, I just saw a comment here. Who said that? Somebody just said, didn't Facebook change their name? Yes, I don't know if anybody knows about that, but Facebook actually either announced or will be announcing they're actually changing the name of their
next week
their site.
Yes.
So very exciting. Man.
And real quick, Sacramento, California. I don't know if did you ever go to a Kmart in your life, Johnny? A Kmart?
I went to one in Oakland, California. Yeah.
There you go. The last Kmart in existence closed yesterday, and it was in Sacramento, California.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong one.
It's gone.
Kmart.
We used to have Kmart here on Vancouver Island, down the road from where I was a teenager, and I used to go record shopping there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gone.
Man, Amazon's taken over, man. I mean,
oh yeah. Why go out when you can have it delivered to your house?
I haven't left it yet today. I've been home all day myself. After the show tonight, I'm just gonna have to go and hop in the car and go to the PO box or something just to get out, just so I can say I got out, because otherwise it'll just be strange.
Sharon says women with hairy legs go to Walmart.
Oh, I guess.
We've got John Ash in the house and Kai Matthews in the house. Yes.
Good to see you guys. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, if this is your first time here, if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching from, obviously, if you're watching from Facebook, you've already liked or you've already joined the Facebook group or page or whatever. So, but yeah, leave comments, share the Facebook feed wherever you're watching from. Share to other Facebook Van Halen related groups, wherever. Tweet this video out if you're on Twitter. We'd really appreciate that. I mean, if you're here, you're obviously enjoying this, and I think other people would enjoy this too. So, thank you so much.
Yes, Rico B. Rain Man said Kmart sucks.
Yeah, I haven't been to a Kmart in years.
Yeah.
I really haven't, because I mean they don't have them here either.
No, not anymore. They don't exist. They're done.
Yeah. Man. So hey, what can we what can we oh, there we go. It's working. Awesome. Do you want to get into it? Do you want to get into this?
Sure.
Okay. Well, okay, oh, there, look at that. Look at that, man.
There it is. There's the wildlife. Johnny just told me today that this is actually a bootleg because I sent him a copy.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Yeah, it is. Actually, because the thing is, the movie wasn't officially released on DVD. I think it might be now. I think it might have came out like very recently. But it wasn't out for a long time. And but yeah, we can talk about that. We can talk about that as well. I guess before we we'll tell you guys, if you haven't seen the movie, and we're not going to spoil it for you guys, but we'll talk about pretty much the plot of the movie and what it's about and the people that starred in the movie, and most importantly, we'll talk about the soundtrack, because that's probably the reason we love the movie so much, is because of the soundtrack, and it's not so much the soundtrack that was released, it's the soundtrack that was never released, if that makes sense. Oh,
another bootleg. I think Johnny.
Steve Anderson has it right there. We'll get into that. We'll talk about that as well. There's so much to talk about tonight, so grab a LaCroix or whatever you're drinking tonight, and have a great time.
This is a rum and Coke, everybody. Cheers to you.
There you go.
One of my tiki mugs.
Oh, very cool, man. I've got some tea I'm drinking here, but I think I'm going to get wild tonight and bust out the Waterloo, I think, pretty soon. Man. So how do you want to start this? I was thinking maybe we could just start with we can talk about the first time we saw the movie, where we were, how, what our first impressions were, and then anybody that's again in the chat, if you want to chime along with us, drop your comments, your live comments with about the movie, when you saw it, whatever, So if you want to go ahead, if you want to start, what year did you? Well, first of all, the movie came out in 1984.
Yeah, okay. Just overall for me, Johnny, this movie just sits in there. There's like 81 was kind of Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then there was certainly like Back to the Future.
Yeah.
The Breakfast Club, and someone in the chat will tell me what year and dates those were released. But this movie is right lumped in there for me, like the top 5 or 10 movies that I'd always watch if it came on TV. This is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did you see the movie in the theater the first time, or what year?
I would have saw it just living at my parents' house, and it was on TV. And and the big question mark for me in this movie, and we'll get into it, is kind of the main actor for me. Like, we're going to talk about the different people that were in the movie, but the Eric Stoltz's younger brother, his name is Bryn Berliner. If you Wikipedia him alone, this is the only thing he was ever in. And I don't even know where this guy is anymore. And I was fascinated with him because he's kind of a... I was like, he was the guy in the first scene, basically, that sets off the dynamite on the statue, right? And you know, he was very highlighted in this movie, and I don't know what happened to the guy. So someone in the chat might know. That's my burning question for tonight.
Okay.
Where is Bryn Berliner, and what happened to him after 1984? Because there's nothing else on the guy.
Burnout. What?
And he's not even listed. He's not even listed like on the actual.
Bryn Berliner. Okay, he played Tony.
Yeah, he's Eric Stoltz's younger brother, and he's like the main guy in it. And I don't even know what happened to the guy.
Man, that's really weird.
Totally.
Well, we'll try to figure that out. Or if you're watching this on replay, drop some comments down below and let us know if you know where Bryn Berliner is.
Yeah, for 37 years, it's been driving me crazy.
Every day you wake up, where's Bryn? You wake up sweating. Bryn Berliner.
Yeah.
Where are you?
And if you Wikipedia him, that's all it says. He's in the wildlife, and there's his photo. That's it. Nothing about where he is now, or did he go to college? Did he get married? Nothing. But yeah, he's the guy with the ghetto blaster, you know, wearing the camo pants. Eric Stoltz's younger brother. Don't know what happened to him.
Wow. Let me look this up. Let me figure this out, because I don't know. I'm not sure.
Dead serious.
Bryn Berliner. Bryn Berliner. Bryn. His name's Bryn.
Yeah, Brin.
Photos. Oh, okay. Bryn Berliner? Okay, I know who he is. Okay, I don't know. Okay, here we go. Bryn Berliner. Okay, I just made the connection. Bryn Berliner. Is that his name?
Yes.
Bryn Berliner. That was this guy
on the left,
right here.
No, it's the other guy.
That's Bryn Berliner.
Is it?
That's Tony. Yeah.
No, Tony's the other guy.
No, Stoltz's younger brother was the guy on the couch. Was this guy?
That guy. That's Stoltz's younger brother.
Yeah, but that's not Bryn. This is Bryn.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Give me the other guy's name then.
This guy was in Weird Science.
Okay.
With Anthony Michael Hall, or is it Michael Anthony Hall? Right in the chat. Which guy is Bryn Berliner?
Because when you Wikipedia Bryn Berliner, the guy with the cigarettes photo comes up.
Yeah, but that other guy's in the shot too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the other guy was in Weird Science. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this dude. And look at this, you guys. Brand new feature here. When we share the screen, our shots are still in the shot here.
Uh-huh.
Very cool. Brand new feature here on StreamYard. StreamYard, we love you. we love StreamYard so much. Actually, Jay Hannon and we were actually on a StreamYard show before. And there it is in the chat. But I'm glad this stuff's finally working here. I finally got my system down. Yeah, Bryn Berliner. Yeah, Mike Nee says, yeah, that's the other guy. That was okay. his friend. His friend over there was Bryn. Yeah, I'd never seen him in anything either. Eventually,
okay, so who's Ilan Mitchell Smith?
That's the guy with the cigarette.
There you go. Okay, so I got to Wikipedia him.
Oh yeah, and he's still around. He's still around. He, like I said, he was in Weird Science. He's probably in a number of features.
All right.
And I know he's still around. Because I think there was a Weird Science like reunion some years back, and he did all the press for that. Him and Anthony Michael Hall and what's her name?
Right.
Jumbiel.
Yeah, right.
What's her name? In the chat. I can't even think of it. But anyway, yeah, that's the guy right there.
Right.
Nobody knows where he is. Bryn Bernliner.
That's the guy.
Hopefully he's okay.
I hope
he's
so
all
too.
right. And Bryn, if you're watching this, contact us. Let us know. But yeah, there you go. There you go. Very cool. Wow. Yeah, I'm glad we got the new feature going here. That's awesome. Very cool. Yeah, Bryn Bernliner. Yeah, that was Tony. That was Tony, but the other guy was Jim. The guy in the camouflage, the guy carrying around. Basically, this movie, The Wildlife, it basically centers around these kids that are either in high school or just got out of high school, and it's like over the summer, and it's their adventures around Los Angeles in the summertime. It takes present day of whatever that year was, so I would say 83 is I would say when it took place.
Okay, so it says here, yeah, Ilan Mitchell Smith is he's actually a professor now.
Okay.
He has a PhD from Texas A&M. Wow.
Cool.
He has 2 kids. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. And he was in a show called The Goldbergs, the 5th season premiere of The Goldbergs.
Recently.
Yeah, playing
recently.
2017.
Yeah, that was just yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. But yeah, so basically this movie, it was released September 28th, 1984 by Universal Pictures. Now the film is not a direct sequel to what other movie? From Meister.
You go ahead, Johnny.
What other? You're the one that sent me the DVD of that one too, and that was an actual one.
Oh man, yeah. No, you go ahead.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Right.
This film, it's not really a sequel to it, but some people kind of consider it like either not a spin-off, but kind of as a sequel because they were both films written by Cameron Crowe.
Yeah.
And Cameron is actually in this movie. He actually plays a cop in one of the scenes.
Yeah.
So basically, this movie takes place around LA, summer 1983, I would say, and basically it follows around these high school kids, college kids, their adventures, going to work. A couple guys work at a bowling alley. One of them works at a donut place, which we'll get into later. Very key title to that place. And it basically just follows these people around over the course of the summer, basically. But it seems like the movie takes place in not even summertime, like maybe even just like a week.
It's the week before. It's the week before school starts, because I know a scene in there.
The week.
Yeah, where Eric Stoltz's younger brother he breaks into the school and is sitting in the hallway, but it's a week before school starts, so the security guard tells him to get out of there.
Okay, so this movie takes place over the course of a week, then.
Yes.
Somewhat. Okay, that's what I always kind of thought, because it is a very fast-paced.
Yeah.
Fast-paced movie. So, and again, we're not going to give you guys spoilers, but if you haven't seen it, basically, I think it's officially released on DVD now, possibly. Maybe you guys can let us know in the chat or in the comments down below. The Rummeister and I, we happen to have pretty much bootleg copies of it.
We have bootleg copies of everything.
Bootleg copy. Boots.
Yeah.
I actually have the soundtrack right here, which is the actual soundtrack. Actually, I've had many copies of these over the years. This is the vinyl.
Nice.
And I remember when I well, I'll tell you guys about when I first saw the movie. I first saw it on TV. I would say in either 1988 or 1989.
Wow.
They used to play it on TV, and I remember that's back when, you know, you would read all the magazines, the Guitar Player, Guitar World, Guitar for the Practicing Musician. I mean, every magazine you could get a hold of with Edward Van Halen interviews, you know, we'd be reading. and so I remember there was an interview where Eddie talked about how he did the soundtrack to this film, The Wildlife. And he really it sounded like like after he did it, like he really didn't care for the music that he did. Like he just did it he did it, but it wasn't like, it was something like you know how like George Lucas, you know, did the holiday special.
Yeah.
You know, the Star Wars holiday special, and then kind of denied that for years, like, oh no, that's not real. I don't think Van Halen was really I think he did the soundtrack, but it wasn't like a huge deal for him. He just like did it, and it was like whatever. I think, because I remember some quotes from back in the day where but anyway, I remember reading these interviews, and then being like, oh, I got to find this movie. You know, I got to, you know, find it. And, you know, this is back 1988, 89. There was no internet, you know. So maybe, I mean, maybe I rented the movie at some point. I did own the movie on VHS, like an official copy on VHS. I probably still have it, actually, in the garage. I probably should have dug that out. But I'm thinking I first saw the movie on TV, and not so much knowing what it was, but when I heard the music, and we'll talk, and we're talking about it. When I heard the music within the movie, you know, throughout the film. Okay. Now, basically, here I'll spotlight myself real quickly here. All right, so this is the official vinyl soundtrack for the film.
Can you pull out the jacket and everything, Johnny? Cool.
There you go.
Like
there actually
labels,
is an inner sleeve. I don't think oh, here it is. There it is. There's an inner sleeve that basically, you know, has
what's the other side? What's the other side of the sleeve, Johnny?
Nothing.
Oh,
just that.
Yeah.
Just that. So it basically has all the tunes. Like there's a song called Wildlife by Bananarama. You remember them from the 80s? They had a huge hit, Cruel Summer.
Yeah.
You know, and then there was all, you know, sorry, it's blurry. Peter Case, Louise Gaffin, Hanover Fist. That's on Middle of the Night. I remember hearing that one. Charlie Sexton with
Fernando Riley.
Fernando, hey dude.
Thanks, man.
See, I'm not pushing buttons. This is for real. I didn't just do that. See, Rummeister heard it. That's right. It's available on VHS. I have it somewhere.
Yeah, so Alan Garber's in the house here, and of course Alan is.
Hey, Alan.
I call him the exterminator. He always corrects everybody. So he mentions that Foxy Lady was actually in the original version of this movie, but in later versions, when you see it, Foxy Lady was taken out of it.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot. Basically, one of the reasons this movie was really never released is they couldn't get licensing for a lot of the songs.
Right.
You know, I think that's how it went. So a lot of the music, and the big thing for us, you know, Van Halen fans, is you find the soundtrack and you're like, yes, because if you saw the movie, you know, Eddie did basically all the music throughout, all the instrumental music throughout the movie is Edward Van Halen.
Yes.
And there's a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of tracks. We'll get to those. We're going to try to do it in chronological order from the beginning of the movie throughout. We're going to try to remember, oh, that music, that was this, and that became this later on. We're going to try to work on that. In the chat, if you want to go ahead and give us some spoilers, give us some hints, that'd be great. So basically, this soundtrack, it has, you know, all these other songs, which they did. I always kind of thought some of them weren't actually in the movie.
You might even just hear it in the background when someone's walking in the mall or something.
Right, yeah. Most of them were either really quickly in the background, maybe like this Andy Summers song. I can't even remember the Andy Summers song being in the movie. It's a song called Human Shout. My other favorite, Andy Summers. I should probably ask him that. I can actually get a hold of him and ask him that. But anyway, so there was a lot of this stuff. And let's say if you found this, you know, at the store, you know, you're pretty bummed out because it only has one Van Halen song on it.
Yeah.
But you remember hearing all this Van Halen music throughout the film. And so I remember seeing the movie, hearing the music and being like, oh, that's what that is. I can't believe it. So I think what I did was I grabbed a little tape recorder and I pressed record, and I record every time music came on, I hit record. So I actually have a cassette somewhere that I had recorded in front of the TV set of all these musical cues that Edward did.
Yeah.
And this was back in late 80s. So this was before a lot of this stuff was kind of released later on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Van Halen News Desk, Van Halen store ended up releasing a lot of these musical cues, and they are available on YouTube. Although there are more of them out there that the News Desk didn't release. There is some other stuff available. And actually some stuff that wasn't even in the movie. I actually have a couple clips on this iPod sitting over here of stuff that I don't recall in the movie, but it is Van Halen and it is instrumental. So it's possibly it's from the same sessions or whatever. But anyway, you go to the store, you know, you're like, oh, I got to get the soundtrack. You pick it up. Oh, it has all these other songs on it. It has one complete Van Halen song called Donut City.
Yeah.
Which is an amazing, amazing track. I remember learning it when I was, you know, a kid. and actually I played it all the time. Like I played the riff all the time on the guitar.
Right.
And but I remember going to the record shop, the local record shop at the mall, and asking if they could order this on CD, the soundtrack. And they went to do it and it never showed up, or eventually they said they couldn't because it wasn't actually available. It wasn't available on CD. It was available on cassette and because I have one, and vinyl. Oh, look, this is actually a promotional copy. If that's if you want more excitement for this, for promotional only, right there, MCA.
You know what? That makes it worth twice as much as what it already is worth.
So it's worth $2.
I'm not kidding.
All right. Well, I better keep this in good condition here.
Yeah. So Alan Garber, the Exterminator, he corrected something here that Donut City, the main like rhythm of that song, it's very similar to Loverboy's "Turn Me Loose."
Mm-hmm.
There's a song called Loverboy, a Canadian band here. It's called "Turn Me Loose." It has a very similar rhythm riff in the song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like disco, actually. It's kind of like a disco bass riff, kind of.
Yeah, Jeff Davidson, Jay Hannon could not be on this episode because he has not seen the movie The Wildlife.
Well, I didn't tell you to tell them that, but
that's all right.
That might be a reason. No, I think he was busy. I think he was busy. But hey, it's all good. It's all good.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he never saw it because it's not available. He couldn't get it anywhere.
That's right.
You know, it wasn't released on DVD until I think it is now, actually, though.
I didn't send him a bootleg copy. That's the problem.
I don't know if we knew him yet. I think you sent me this stuff like years ago, actually.
Well, yeah, it was years ago, but yeah, Jay was around. Jay was around. Jay was on the show. The very first show I was on, Jay was in the panel because I showed all my guitars, like 30 guitars, and Jay was there. Yeah.
Cool.
I remember that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so let's see. All right, so Alan Garber has some awesome tidbits, if that's the right term, of some of the musical stuff. Awesome. Thank you, Alan. Thank you.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this movie a little bit. It basically it revolves around these kids a week before school starts.
Yes.
Some of them are going back to school. Some of them are moving into their own places. You know. So what did you think of the film when you first saw it? And again, when you first saw it? When you saw it on TV? What year do you think?
It would have been right around 1985, 86, probably. I don't know how long it was in the theater, but as soon as it came to TV, like I said, at my parents' place, it would have come on, just like The Breakfast Club would have come on TV. I never saw The Breakfast Club in the theater. So yeah, and Fast Times I didn't see in the theater. So they're all, for me, they all kind of around the same time, mid 80s. I would have saw this playing on a weekend, Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning, probably. There was another movie at the time, Johnny. Do you remember a movie? There was this guy, he was in The Outsiders, C. Thomas. Was it C. Thomas Howell or something like that? There's a movie called Secret Admirer. and he was the main actor in that. Yeah. That was another movie that was always sort of, I remember always playing on the weekends. There was that, and then Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So there's a whole like 10 movies, these 10 movies that I would always play all the time, with Back to the Future and Fast Times, and yeah, all those high school movies that were on at the time. And this was one of them. Yeah. And for me, the first thing I remember about this was just the beginning song was it Born to Be Wild? Yeah, Born to Be Wild by Steppenwolf is the first song on the movie. Yeah, when it starts.
And is that on the soundtrack even?
Probably not.
No, it's not. It's not. So see, there's music in the movie that's not even on the soundtrack.
No, and like you said, there's all kinds of Easter eggs too. I know particular scenes where Eddie's playing this cool stuff, but it's not even on this.
Correct.
Yeah, there's little tidbits around in the movie. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. Fernando, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, so Alan Garber, on this bootleg version I sent to Johnny, Born to Be Wild is on this. So there's probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 different versions of this with certain things cut off of it. But it's definitely on this one I sent to Johnny, yeah.
I think the one you sent to me, I think that's a rip from the VHS.
Probably,
and the VHS is the you know what I'm trying to say, theatrical.
Yeah.
I've had too much tea today. It is the original version of the movie.
Yeah.
Because I have the original VHS, and I've heard all, you know, everything that I've seen it. Let me just say I've seen it. So okay. All right. So anyway, this movie, it has a lot of people in it. I mean, a lot of people that were actually around for a lot of the 80s, like a lot of those movies.
And the 90s.
And the 90s. As well. But the main characters, the main cast, Christopher Penn, whose brother is he?
Spicoli.
Sean Penn. See, that's another connection. That's another connection to Fast Times. How it's kind of a sequel, but kind of not.
What else was he in, Donnie? Was he in anything else after this that we know of?
The only other thing that I saw him in that I knew him from, or that I'm like, oh, that's Chris Penn, was Rush Hour. Was it the first Rush Hour or the second one? With Jackie Chan?
Yeah.
That movie? I think it's the first one. I think the first Rush Hour. Christopher Penn is in that as well. But he had gained a lot of weight. So he didn't look the same later on in life.
Right.
Than he did in this film. And he has tragically he's passed away. He passed away some years back.
Do we know how, Johnny?
I can find out real quick if I push this button here. He passed away.
Hey, Bozique.
Hey, Bozique.
So Alan Garber says that The Wildlife came out on Blu-ray, and that's when all the songs were cut out.
Right. He passed. He died of heart disease.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, because, he had gained a lot of weight over the years.
So Fernando Riley here says that Chris Penn was in Footloose. Is that correct?
It could be. Yeah, he was in Footloose. He was the best friend character of Kevin Bacon's character.
There you go. Yeah, Leo, we got
in
it.
Footloose. Another great 80s movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, we're gonna have to watch a bunch of these. I just got a great idea, man. We're gonna have to get the crew, all of us, this Friday night crew.
We'll watch a movie and review it.
Yeah, I mean, yes, that too. Yeah. But I would actually like to watch Fast Times and Wildlife back to back.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
That sounds cool. That sounds cool. Let me see. Yeah, he was in Rush Hour. Yeah. Yeah, he was in a lot of stuff. Reservoir Dogs. He was in At Close Range.
Yeah, JR is saying it here. He definitely doesn't look like the same guy that he did back in 84 or 83.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
But you can imagine, like, if you're a teen movie star back then, like how much money would have been thrown in those guys' laps overnight, and some guys are gonna indulge in that, right? Like, it's like musicians I've heard of, like a lot of rap musicians, like early '90s, that had like one hit, and they get a mansion and a bunch of Ferraris, and the next year they've got no money, and they're selling everything, and you never hear from them again.
Yeah, it's too bad. Let's see. Yeah, so Christopher Penn, he's really he's one of the main. Well, he's the guy on the cover. He's the guy right in the center of this picture here.
Yeah, I mean, they all have their own little story. Even Leah Thompson has her own story going on in her donut shop. Yeah.
Which is called what?
Donut City, perhaps.
Donut City. That's right.
And Leah Thompson, as we know, Back to the Future, and Caroline in the City. She was starred in that later on. Yeah.
So what connection? Actually, some of these questions we'll ask the chat. Alan, get ready.
Yeah, right.
What connection does Eric Stoltz and Leah Thompson have besides the wildlife? You can see them there together in the back of the car. What other connection do they have around that same time period? In the chat. Let me say this. What other film were they working on together? There was another movie, which actually has another connection, another Van Halen connection.
Yeah, they all do.
Yeah. Let's see. Anybody in the chat? Anybody get it? Hopefully that made sense. But Leah Thompson, Eric Stoltz. There we go. Jeff Davidson. Were you the first one to get it?
Yeah.
You might have been the first one.
Yeah.
Leah Thompson was Marty McFly's mother in Back to the Future. Eric Stoltz was cast to play the original Marty McFly. So they actually filmed a lot of scenes together.
Yeah. And Alan said it. There's a movie called Some Kind of Wonderful that they were both in together.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually never saw that one. I never saw that one, although I do know of that. And then so there's a Van Halen connection as well. There's a Back to the Future connection to the wildlife.
Yeah,
in the chat. In the chat, who knows? Who knows the connection between the wildlife and Back to the Future? The Van Halen connection, that is.
Alan will get it.
Yeah. Stephen Franklin. Stephen Franklin got it. Stephen Franklin got it. There you go. There you go. That's what Van Halen News Desk calls. There's a musical cue that they call out the window.
Yeah.
Because there's a scene in this movie where Chris Penn he sneaks into his that's not really his girlfriend. I mean, they kind of were, but I think they broke up, right? False flag. False flag.
Wow.
Dude.
Yeah, and on this, Johnny, it's listed as number 6.
Okay.
Out the window. But okay. I guess we're calling it the Darth Vader song.
There's kind of different titles depending on the film. And hey, false flag. I hope you're feeling better, man.
Yeah.
Hope you're feeling better. Thank you so much for your support.
So everybody watching this, the chat, when you're watching the movie and there's a guy thrown out a window, that's when this song Out the Window is played. And you can see Johnny Beane play this song in on his YouTube channel, probably called the Darth Vader song and how to play it.
I did a guitar lesson on how to play that. Yeah.
And that's how I learned it, from Johnny Beane. So yeah, you can go to his YouTube channel. And
that's where they are. That's
look up the Darth Vader song, and Johnny, grab a Frankenstrat, and Johnny will teach you how to play
it. Man, actually, I'll do that right now. I'll do that right now, just because. Is there a guitar pick here? Really quickly, I'll play the riff for you. I'll show you. Yeah. So this is the riff. It's the same riff you hear when his name's Tom Drake, when he jumps out the window, and then later on, a year later, the cue was used in the movie Back to the Future, when Marty Mcfly is dressed up as the alien from space, or from Vulcan, or he's Darth Vader from Vulcan is what he says, and he plays this riff through the Walkman to his dad. It's the same riff, and it's. Can you hear this? Can you hear that?
So get your guitars ready. It goes E, G, A.
This is the riff right here. If I can, I haven't played it in a while. It goes like this. That's basically it.
Yes.
That's basically the riff. So you hear the whole cue. I'm going to call these, they're musical cues. That's the technical term, or the scientific term in music, right? So the cue, you hear the whole thing in the wildlife.
Yeah.
In Back to the Future, you only hear like 3 seconds of it. Really, you only hear the, you know. I don't even know. You just hear like a little bit of it. But yeah, so that's another connection. Another connection between Back to the Future and this. There's a lot of, like I said, in tonight, there's a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of cool things. Cool facts about this film, about these films, our favorite stuff. Favorite films. So
mine comes right at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Awesome.
We got a long way to go.
Awesome. Yeah, we're only an hour into this. Again, drop some thumbs, smash that thumbs up, you guys.
So
smash that thumbs up.
So start of the movie, we got Born to be Wild by Steppenwolf from the original release. And the next thing you'll hear is what's known as Ripley. On this, it's called the opening titles. But yeah, the song Ripley, which eventually on A Different Kind of Truth became Blood and Fire. But for me, this is one of those goosebump songs that Eddie did instrumentally. I'll argue with Johnny Beane the rest of my time knowing him ever. For me, in my Van Halen times, this is Eddie Van Halen's solo album to me. There's no lyrics here. This is just instrumentals on the movie. So for me personally, this is his solo album. I've loved this music since I was a teenager. So yeah, 30-something years ago. I know people say Van Halen 3 with Gary Sharon singing was Eddie's solo album, but no, there's a singer. That's not Eddie Van Halen's solo album. To me, this is the solo album, but Johnny will say otherwise. That's fine. This is me. And the importance of the song Ripley is it's one of my favorite, I would say, the top 10 Van Halen things I've ever heard. That's one of them. It's in my top 10, Ripley.
Oh, wow.
Oh, for sure. Like I get goosebumps when I just hear the music of that. But when they play Blood and Fire off A Different Kind of Truth, it doesn't have the same effect on me because there's vocals like interrupting the music. That's amazing. It's interesting for me, but you guys know I make a pretty strong stance when I like stuff, and I like this instrumentally as Ripley more than Blood and Fire. I'd give it 10 out of 10 as Ripley. Blood and Fire, it might get a 7 out of 10 for me. But that's where I stand with the song Ripley. You guys can YouTube the song Ripley and hear a full version of it.
We can't play the music on here, but in the description below, there will be links to a playlist where you can hear a lot of these musical cues. I'll have to agree with you there too. You know.
Alan Garber agrees with me, and that's great because I can say I love Alan Garber, and I do.
Alan's awesome.
Yeah. But anyway, Ripley on the opening titles of the movie, it's only about 50 seconds. But Ripley, if you YouTube it, the song Ripley, it's like 4 minutes or something like that, like 4.5 minutes probably.
There's a whole song there.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of different versions of these, and that's what I want. We'll get into it again later, but I want like a full everything there is ever recorded for the Wildlife from Eddie Van Halen released. It's time to do it, whether it's Wolfgang or with Alex Van Halen as well, and whatever producer, to go into the vaults and make an official release of it. It needs to be done, not just for me. I'm happy for it to be shared to everyone, but it needs to happen. And just like Van Halen 3 with Gary Sharon, I know there was a whole second album was basically done, and we haven't heard that. So there's certain parts of Eddie's life that need to be released, and I'd say it has to happen. Like it has to happen. So yeah, I want full long versions of all these snippets because it's got to be probably like 3 or 4 times as much as we've actually heard here. So yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
I mean, same here, man. And again, you calling it Eddie's solo record. That sounds good to me. I've always been a huge fan of what Edward did, within this movie.
No, and even Eddie himself, when we've talked about it on this show before, Eddie says, no, that was sort of done half-ass or whatever. But man, I tell you, whether it's Ripley, and we're going to get into some of these other tracks here, but I mean, they give me goosebumps and always have since I was a kid, and inspire you to pick up a guitar and build guitars, and it's all part of it, right?
Yeah. Great. I mean, just amazing stuff. And I saw people were leaving comments, because I promote this stuff on Instagram and Facebook, and a lot of some people were leaving comments saying, "Oh, I've been a hardcore Van Halen fan for years. I had no idea this movie even existed."
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's people that are just now discovering this film. and again, drop some comments down below on playback. With your memories of this movie, or if you're looking for it, or whatever. I mean, there was just so much great music.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole movie's great. The whole movie's great, but I mean, the Van Halen stuff especially.
Yeah. And the next thing you actually hear musically in the movie is on this version that Johnny and I have, because I sent him one of these, is like 7.5 minutes of what you guys would know as Good Enough from the 5150 album. And the Van Halen News Desk entitled it Nearly Good Enough. It's that main riff from Good Enough, all kinds of soloing and harmonics, and all the tricks are in there. Which again, it's just that goosebump factor again. And to if you got 5150 and then all of a sudden you watch this movie and it's like, oh my god, you hear the song Good Enough in there, but there's no lyrics. It's amazing to hear. And this is a great version we have here. This is like 7.5 minutes. I cranked this in my car. This CD I brought out of my car. I have 5 CDs in my car, and this is one of them. I brought it out for this show because I love cranking the music on this. Because I like playing stuff that no one's. Hey, what is that? What is that you're playing there? Well, this came out 37 years ago. What?
I do the same thing. Like I said, I've got this iPod Classic. I mean, it has. My whole collection of music, but I got so much Van Halen stuff, the wildlife stuff, all this, everything is in there. And all right, so I just asked a question in the chat here on YouTube. Have you seen the film? We have 13 votes so far. 57% no, 43% yes. So we'll leave that poll up throughout the show. So make sure to cast your votes. We got 75 people watching total. Thank you so much for watching again. Smash that thumbs up or leave comments. Leave us comments. So okay, so in the beginning, we're not going to spoil the movie, but we're going to try to go throughout the movie based on Edward's soundtrack, because that is mostly what you hear throughout the film.
Yeah.
So you have basically the riff to Good Enough, where Chris Penn's character, Tom Drake, he's driving to the liquor store. He reaches in his glove box to pull out a beer, and there's he's out.
So he goes to the liquor store.
But anyway, during that scene, that's where you're hearing the Good Enough.
Yeah.
The Good Enough, or what became Good Enough eventually. Because it's not even the same song. I mean, it's similar. I mean, music wise, the arrangement, there's some slightly different parts in there, I think.
Yeah, I'd say the sound is a bit cleaner than the sound on 5150. I think the version on 5150 is a bit more distorted. There's lots of clean guitar played by Ed during this movie. Yeah. But it's still great. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of clean, like as the Rummeister said, a lot of clean riffs.
Yeah.
Tunes, songs. So anyway, so as far as some of the other actors within the movie, or the characters, there's Tom Drake, which is Chris Penn. There's Bill Conrad, which is Eric Stoltz. There's Eileen, which is played by Jenny Wright. Anita, played by Leah Thompson. And Leah Thompson, she's kind of the girlfriend of Eric Stoltz's character. I think did they break up though? I don't think they're together in the movie.
Yeah, they're not together at the beginning.
Okay.
But they sort it out by the end.
Yeah. It's an 80s movie, so in the end everything's fine. Except everybody has to go back to school. The school opens up. That's the only part that sucks. Actually, here we'll show you guys some photos from the movie. Let's see. Okay, I'm still stuck on the Bren Burliner.
We sorted it out. We learn stuff here. That's what we do.
That's right. That's right. Okay, I got to shut that window because all it's showing me is that. All right, so Google. Let's Google it. Let's see if we can. Let's see images. All right. Here's some images. Here's some images from the movie. We'll show you guys.
Zach Thong says, no, never seen the movie. Haven't even heard of it, the movie. There you go. There's another guy. And Zach's here all the time.
Man, you got to see this, man. Yeah, it's awesome. Especially if you like Van Halen. I mean, you know, if you like Van Halen, this is the channel you want to be on, Johnny Bean TV, for one thing. So make sure to subscribe if you like Van Halen. But yeah, if you're a Van Halen fan, I mean, this movie, it's just all this music that Eddie did throughout the film. Some of it you heard later on, some of it you didn't. So there's a lot of cool stuff. So anyway, so yeah, there's some pictures. There's the one we saw earlier with Bren Burliner or whatever his name is. Right there. That's while they're talking to the cop. They're at Donut City, and they're actually all these pictures. They're all at Donut City talking to the cop.
Yeah, it looks like it's going chronologically in the movie, just about.
Because the cop plays another character. Actually, there he is with Leah Thompson, which is Stoltz's girlfriend in the movie, somewhat.
At the end.
Back at the end.
They were going out, and then she got disinterested, and then she's with the cop, and at the end, they end up together.
Yeah, it's a family movie.
In the back of a donut shop, yeah.
Yeah, in the back of the donut shop. Which is called Donut City. And the Van Halen connection to that is the only song that was released on the soundtrack. The only Van Halen tune was a song called Donut City, because that's the music you hear while that's one of the cues you hear while they're in the donut shop in Donut City, right?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, so there's some cool shots.
There they are in that car again.
yeah, that's like an outtake from that first
the poster
from the actual released shot there.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool. It's very cool. And so yeah, so another there's a lot of key locations within the film. There's the donut shop. There's a donut shop. And then there's the bowling alley.
The bowling alley.
Where a lot of stuff takes place. And that's where the Stoltz character works. I think he gets his friend there, Penn's. I think he gets his character a job at the bowling alley, I think. That's where everybody hangs out. See, that's one of the top hangouts is the bowling alley in the movie.
Yeah.
I think. Fret level midnight. I have one. Do exclamation point DING. Ding. That's the Discord. So yeah. Look at that. Oh, look, that's the official DVD right there.
There you go.
There it is.
That's the Blu-ray that Alan was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
The official one.
Yeah. It's
and Alan. It's casual. Yep, that's the tagline of the movie. That's the key line that Penn's character says throughout. It's casual. Anytime he gets in trouble, it's casual.
I don't use that enough. I need to use that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Let me see. We'll tell you guys some of the other cast members. There's a lot of people in this movie you guys probably have heard of besides Chris Penn, Eric Stoltz, Leah Thompson, Rick Moranis is in the movie. Oh, that's another place.
A clothing store.
There's a clothing store, which is called, I want to say, Fashion Dynasty.
And that's one of the song titles on this.
That's one of the song titles because the music you hear within that is they're going Fashion Dynasty.
It's a
which actually Fashion Dynasty, was it that one? I think the Fashion Dynasty I think there's a couple tracks that were released from that you hear throughout some of those scenes. One of them is Donut City, but a keyboard version of it.
Yeah, it's a rock and keyboard song is what's on this for Fashion Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it's the same as Donut City. It's the same thing. It's just played on keyboard.
Right.
It's just a little different. Keyboard tune. That's right, Stephen Franklin.
Yeah.
That's right. So you have the Rick Moranis character. Let's see if we can find a picture of him because he's super. Well, he's Rick Moranis. Oh, there he is. Yeah. He's basically he's after the Leah Thompson, her friend's character. Hopefully this isn't too confusing.
No.
There we go. All right, there's Rick Moranis.
The crop hair. They both have crop hair. They both have Duran Duran hair.
Yeah.
Blazer.
Yeah. They got they got the she's like the John Taylor.
Yeah.
Got the John Taylor thing happening.
And I just saw a Duran Duran concert last night live from London, like 12 years ago.
The reunion?
Yeah.
The one with Andy Taylor?
Yeah, live in London. Yeah.
Okay, I have that DVD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so do I.
Is that the one? Didn't it come with like 3D glasses or something?
Oh, I don't know about that.
That one? Something. There was some sort of special feature to it. Yeah, that's right. Keith Campbell. Yeah, Christopher Penn's character. That's his girlfriend. Well, sort of. They're pretty much busted up through the whole movie. And Rick Moranis is after her. They work together at Fashion Dynasty, and he's trying to get her, but she's not interested. She's not interested in any of them.
Yeah. Mike Neese says he's got Mancuta's haircut.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, you got Rick Moranis. He's pretty funny in the movie. Who else do you got? You got the cop. His name's Hart Bochner.
Okay.
I believe he plays the cop, the one we saw at Donut City, the one that's basically he's a married cop and he's dating Leah Thompson's character. And later in the movie she goes over to his house.
Yeah, but it's not really dating. Like he shows up at Donut City, gets some action, and they never go out together anywhere.
Right. She's always complaining. How come we never go out anywhere?
Exactly.
But anyway, so at a certain point, they go over to his house, and he's not home. But who answers the door?
There you go.
Do you know?
You go ahead.
Nancy Wilson from Heart.
There it is.
Plays his wife.
Was she not in Fast Times as well, driving a Camaro? Or
she was. That's another connect. Yeah, she's in both these movies.
They all connect.
They all connect. Let me see if I can find you the photo. Yeah. Oh, there she is. Yeah, she answers the door. And so that's when the Leah Thompson character realizes, oh, the cop, oh, he's he's got a wife and kids. Yeah, there she is.
Yeah.
Nancy Wilson from Heart.
Yeah. Who is married to Cameron Crowe.
Oh, another connection. Look at
another
that.
Connection.
We got so many connections going on.
Oh, yeah, man.
And look at that door. I like that door. That's awesome.
I know. It's got the stained glass. Different colors.
It's like bottles or something.
Yeah.
That's cool. Colors. That's cool. So anyway, yeah, so the cop, and like I said, we're just giving you guys ideas of the movie. We're not going to spoil the movie for you. We're not going to whatever. But the cop in the movie, I saw him years later. Well, actually, I mean, he was in the movie probably around the same time. Actually, yeah, around the exact same time. He was in another film. There he is right there. But he was in he was in Supergirl.
Oh, wow.
The 1984 film.
Cool.
He was in that as well. And that's all I know. He was probably in other stuff too, but I only know him from those two movies. And Alan Garber says there's nothing to spoil. It's a crap movie.
Not to me, man.
We love this film. This film's awesome. But no, we're not here to spoil it. We're just here to entertain you guys and give you there you go, Sharon. That's right. I'm going Hollywood.
Yeah.
Our review tonight. Top review.
Oh yeah, man.
The wildlife.
And after the fashion dynasty sort of part of the movie with Rick Moranis, then you get the scene like the out the window, which Johnny played earlier, the EGA riff. Is what you'll see. You might be able to find the out the window shot where the guy's being tossed out the window.
I think he just jumps out the window because she screams. She's like, "I'm gonna scream." He's like, "No, you're not." And she screams. And I think he jumps out, but he falls off the roof into these trash cans.
Yeah. And Fernando Riley says, "Don't forget about Randy Quaid."
Yep. Randy Quaid.
Yeah.
How do you spell Quaid?
Quaid.
Randy Quaid was in the movie. He plays a veteran.
Yeah.
Where the what's his name character, the guy in Weird Science, the guy that you thought was Bill Brimston or whatever his name is.
His real name is Ilan, Ilan.
Anyway, Randy Quaid, he plays a veteran that was in Vietnam, because these kids are fascinated with I guess with Vietnam, with I think with war.
Yeah, they're wearing like combat clothes and camouflage pants and
yeah, because there's a scene where they go to buy a bunch of stuff, and who's the guy that owns the store?
There you go.
What's his name? In the chat, who's the guy that owns the fatigue? What do you call it? What do you call those places? We have those out here, all up and down the street.
That's Army Fatigues.
The Army Fatigue stores. What's his name? There's another actor who plays who's in the film. Okay, I'll say it. Ben Stein. Ben Stein plays the Army Fatigue store. Anyway, so these kids are fascinated by this stuff, and so the military surplus store. Thank you, Brandon. So anyway, so the Weird Science guy takes the other guy over to meet his friend here, Randy Quaid, who I think his name's Charlie.
Yeah.
His name's Charlie. You got to meet Charlie. He keeps saying, his friend says, "Hey, when are we going to meet Charlie? When are we going to go to Charlie? Oh, everything has to be right for us to go meet Charlie."
Yeah.
And then they go to meet Charlie, and Charlie's basically telling him, well, we're not going to spoil it, but he's basically telling them, you guys have no idea what war is like. You guys play army man all day long.
Yeah.
And he basically kind of the kids they seem kind of like scared, but when they leave, they're like, "Oh, that was so awesome being there," like that guy was so cool.
Yeah, and Keith Campbell here points out that Ronnie Wood from the Rolling Stones was in the party that we see.
Yeah. Ron Wood was in there's a huge party scene at the end.
Yeah.
He plays the guy that raids the fridge, that brings out the huge turkey on the platter. That's Ron Wood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which he's on the soundtrack as well. He's actually on the soundtrack. He does a song with Charlie Sexton called "It's Not Easy," produced by Ron Wood.
Johnny, do you have a favorite Rolling Stone song? Deserted Island. Johnny Beane's being sent to a deserted island. He only has one Rolling Stone song he can listen to the rest of his life. What song is it?
Oh, it would have to be a hit. It would have to be what's the one? It's only rock and roll.
Nice.
Is that the title to that song? I've never heard the
Sure.
Yeah, it's only rock and roll. There you go.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Stones song.
Yeah, my favorite Stone song. Do you know the song called "Miss You"?
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's my favorite Stone song. Anyway.
Maybe. So, yeah, Randy Quaid. Oh, there he is.
You can buy that photo for $8.99.
There he is right there. Bunch of scenes here. There you go.
Hold on, Johnny.
What is that? A ringtone? Oh, Jumpin' Jack Flash. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, they got a lot of great songs, Stones.
Oh yeah, still do. So, let me see. Let me go through some of this. Some of the other cast members. I mean, a lot of these people I haven't heard of, but Simone White plays Brenda, which is the girl in the bowling alley that the Weird Science character is after the entire movie. And now she's actually a singer-songwriter.
Nice.
She's released albums. She's a singer down in LA. That's what she does now. And it's possibly this was the only movie she was ever in as well. Let's see. What other names here do we know? Ben Stein. He's known as the surplus salesman. Kevin Peter Hall played the bouncer for the strip club.
Wow.
Kevin Peter Hall. Okay, Alan Garber. Give somebody else a chance for this one. In the chat, who else? What's his name? I just wrote it. It's Kevin Peter Hall, right? I just lost it. It vanished from my list. There's Kevin Peter Hall. He plays the bouncer. There's a strip club called something. I forget what it's called in the film. They keep saying, "Oh, we gotta go. We gotta go." You know, all these dudes. The bouncer, he was. Let me find a photo of him. You guys, some of you guys might recognize him. Some of you guys might recognize him. Although he is known for a character he was in a movie where, unless you guys know, you know, but he was actually in a huge film. And actually, he was on a really good TV show that I used to watch when I was a kid as well. Kevin Peter Hall. Let me find his picture. Here we go. And actually, he was actually okay. I take that back. He was in a couple huge movies. Here, let me share my screen. Okay, so he played the bouncer. This is him right here. He played the bouncer in the movie.
Wow.
Super tall dude.
Wow.
Super tall dude. But I knew him. I don't know him. I knew him. He passed away as well. He passed away years ago.
Really?
Yeah. But I knew him from a show called Misfits of Science.
Oh, okay.
On NBC. With Dean Paul Martin.
Right.
Dean Martin's son, who also passed away. Who also passed on. The show Misfits of Science, and it was the first major show for Courtney Cox.
Oh wow.
She was in the show. I used to watch the show when I was a kid. So anyway, Kevin Peter Hall, he was in that show. So I knew him from that show. But years later, he was in another movie called Harry and the Hendersons. He played the Harry.
Wow.
In that. There he is. And then, but also he was in another film that you guys might know, if I can find. I know I saw a photo. Oh, there's the Misfits of Science photo right there. There we go. See, there's Courtney Cox right there.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that was the show I used to watch. That show was awesome. That was one of my favorite shows. But yeah,
so
Kevin Peter Hall.
That's probably about the time when Courtney Cox was in that Bruce Springsteen video.
Yeah. Yeah, what? Yeah, she was. There we go. There we go. If you guys know the movie Predator.
Wow.
That's he played the that role as well. Keith Campbell. There you go. You got it. You got it. So anyway, yeah. So he was the bouncer in Wildlife. He let everybody in, and then they again, I'm not going to ruin it, but they destroyed the place. It's a huge brawl during that scene. Pretty funny. Pretty funny stuff. And then, so who else in this movie do we know of? Ronnie Wood, Refrigerator Raider. That's what he's known as. Again, Cameron Crowe. He played cop number 2. So I think as far as the known people in the movie, I think that's really the rest of these names. I don't recognize, but actually, well, yeah, top billing, all the top billing. Yeah, Christopher Penn, Leah Thompson, Ian. Is it Ian?
Island. Yeah.
Excuse me. Island Mitchell Smith, Jenny Wright, Eric Stoltz, Rick Moranis, Hart. It's like Botchner, and Randy Quaid. That was really the top.
Yeah.
Top cast of this movie.
So what I've got next musically, you're going to hear a song. It's called, they call it on here, All Fired Up. It's about 6 minutes long on this. It's not, well, whenever I see the line All Fired Up, I think of AFU Naturally Wired off of Volume 812, but it sounds nothing like that. It's rocking, and it's got these bending notes in it. That's the next song you'd hear that's Eddie's related to in the song. But yeah, it's like 6 minutes on this thing. We have this unreleased score.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you again to Van Halen News Desk. They released a lot of these cues some years back.
Yeah.
And that's what you have. That's what that's from.
Yeah. Nerd Halen in the house. Caleb.
Nerd Halen. Okay, so how do you pronounce the guy's name? Elon.
Elon.
Elon. His name's Elon.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I just know him as the weird science dude.
I just know he's just my favorite person in this movie, actually.
Yeah, because he is like the third main character in the movie.
Yeah.
And the movie really follows him around.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so hey, I'll read you the plot summary. I'll give you a kind of a summary of what's going on. So it's basically the plot contains three teenagers living in the suburbs of Los Angeles. You got Eric Stoltz's character. He had just graduated from high school. I probably should have read this at the top of the show, but you know. So he graduated high school, and he got his first apartment. Which what's the name of the apartment? I know it has some name to it. Something. That's where the huge party happens. And then eventually, Bill Conrad, his character, the Tom Drake character, he moves in. He talks him into moving in with him, and they pretty much destroy the place. And they live in this area of the apartment building where it's mostly doctors and stuff, so they can't be super loud. But Christopher Penn, I mean, he's basically just nuts in this movie.
Yeah, yeah. And that goes, someone earlier in the chat mentioned, was there not like a bra removing scene here? So that's the next musical bit you hear.
Oh!
It's called Peeping Tom. It's exactly a minute long. And yeah, someone goes up a tree and peeps on his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's actually that's how he gets in, and then when he falls out the window, that's the next cue.
There you go.
If you want to go chronological there.
Nerd
so
it's casual.
It's casual. We're gonna have to start using that line.
Totally.
It's casual. Because that really is that was the line of the summer, I'm sure.
Keith Campbell says that was me climbing up trees and peeping at girls. Keith Campbell's admitting it here.
Oh my gosh, Keith Campbell. Keith
Campbell's a peep. Doesn't Michael J. Fox say that in Back to the Future? My dad was a peep.
He's a peeping Tom.
Yeah.
But who's he peeping at? He's peeping at Anita in Wildlife.
That's right.
Leah Thompson. Okay, so basically, Stoltz's character, he graduates from high school, moves into these apartments. His younger brother Jim. How do you say it, Caleb?
Elon
Mitchell Smith, who was fixated on Vietnam and the Vietnam War, spends a lot of time practicing with his nunchucks. Right, with his bird. He has got the little bird. Practicing with his nunchucks, getting high, listening to heavy metal on the boombox. He's carrying this boombox around. That's actually where you hear some of these songs.
Yeah.
On this, like that one song, "Metal of the Night," by Hanover Fist. You hear that coming through the guy's. I think his record player. I think he's blasting that in his bedroom as he's doing push-ups or playing with nunchucks or whatever. And so basically, he's doing that, hanging out with Vietnam vet Charlie, played by Randy Quaid. Other important characters include Tom, again, Christopher Penn's character. What's the word? How do you pronounce that? Refers to. Anyway, he plays a wrestling champ who I guess is out of high school, but he was like a wrestling champ in the movie. And that's how the guy at the liquor store in the beginning of the movie recognizes him. He's like, "You're the wrestling guy." Remember that? Or he's like, "I used to watch you play." And he's saying, and then he's talking about how he banged some chick, and the guy that runs that's the worker. He's like, "Oh, that's my little sister." Remember that?
Yeah.
So yeah, and then he ends up working with Stoltz at the bowling alley. Rick Moranis' character Harry works at a trendy department store. He's a trendy department store manager. And he's let's see, Leah Thompson. She's Bill's ex-girlfriend. She works at a donut shop known as Donut City, which again was the only song released on the official soundtrack by Van Halen. Hey, Josh. Welcome, Josh. We got Josh watching us on Facebook.
Oh, it's got a purple Ernie ball, perhaps.
Welcome,
or maybe a PV.
Yeah. I think it's an Ernie ball.
I always like those. That purple, I like the purple.
Oh, purple is awesome.
But I liked it with the black headstock. Ed had one on Guitar for the Practicing Musician. There was a centerfold of the whole band, and he was standing against a wall. And it was purple with a black headstock. I always wanted that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's when they were remodeling 5150, and so he's outside, and you see like these cinder blocks, like he's like in front of because some of those shots he's sitting on them.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's some of the plot, and the soundtrack again. Actually, the main song is called "The Wild Life," written by Bananarama. It's on the soundtrack, and it was actually a single, and it peaked at number 70 on the Billboard Top 100 in December '84. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Fret level midnight. Yeah, fret level midnight here. Yeah, I agree. Fret level. You know, when I was younger, I remember like Guitar Player would show bits of songs, and then Guitar World would have about 3 songs transcribed. But then Guitar for the Practicing Musician came out, and they'd have like 5 songs transcribed.
Yeah, it was all.
Oh yeah, it was a huge war. Like mid '80s there, like 84, 85. It was a battle. There was like Guitar Player, and I leaned away from Guitar Player because they were more about just interviews, and I was all about the music. So if I could get more transcriptions, the better back then. And definitely Guitar for the Practicing Musician seemed to be more accurate, and they had more songs per issue. So yeah, there was a huge battle back then between all those magazines. Yeah.
Right.
Keith Campbell, yeah, these came off of if you go to Discogs, they were on there. I bought a whack of them. I gave them to my friends like Johnny Beane here and a couple of my buddies here in Victoria, and I always have this in my car. I took it out for this show, but it was off of Discogs. But you can have a look and see if it might be there. But they don't like I don't know. There's lots of copyright issues, and like Johnny said it about this wildlife movie on YouTube. You can't find it. You can't find Eddie Van Halen when he was on Saturday Night Live. That drives me crazy because it's one of those musical performances that it's top 10 for me, and for whatever reason, Saturday Night Live kind of has it locked in the vaults. Yeah,
that was available on Hulu at one point years ago.
Yeah. It's just I don't understand why stuff like that has to be hidden. It needs to be out there. It really does. Because again, for me, if you talk about like the history of Saturday Night Live and every musical performance ever, that's my favorite musical performance, and they never show it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I've seen it. Well, I have it.
Oh yeah, no, I have it on VHS from back in the day. I saw it when it was played live. Like, yeah.
Same here. Same here. I saw it too.
Yeah.
I saw it too. So hey, let's actually let me read this. Edward Van Halen wrote and performed the score of the film, which, in case you guys hadn't got that by now, an hour and a half into this, that also happened.
And Don Landy was there as producer with that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because see, what happened was they worked on this movie, but Edward had to leave to go on tour, so he left Dawn to finish working on the mixing of the music. The instrumental Donut City was the only original Edward Van Halen composition appeared on the official soundtrack album, which I have right here, which we have said 100 times already. The film's soundtrack included music by the likes of Prince, Madonna, Andy Summers, my other favorite. Wait, Prince is on here? Are you sure Prince ain't on here? Maybe they added a Prince song later onto the. I've never seen Prince's name on this. No, I don't see it.
So Keith Campbell here mentioned Stompin' 8H. Yes, Keith, and it's also was a recorded song for 5150 that didn't make the album called I Want Action. It's the same riff as Stompin' 8H. And you can look that up on YouTube. It's called I Want Action, and it's a ripping song. I wish it was on 5150, but maybe one day we'll get a bunch of release stuff. Maybe like deluxe versions of all these Van Halen albums. Someone needs to take over and get it done, because all these bands now are releasing deluxe versions of their albums. Certainly Guns N' Roses, I know, did Appetite for Destruction. I know Metallica's doing their whole catalog. I think the Black Album one just came out. I know Kiss has been doing some of their older albums from the 70s, deluxe versions of their albums. So hopefully, yeah, I don't know what combination. I mean, Alex Van Halen would probably have to be the guy to me to be involved with going through the catalog. Why not? Yeah.
I have to grab something else to drink really quickly, but also just to talk about some of that real quick. Yeah, the song Stompin' 8H, that was, like Steve was saying, that was originally a Van Halen leftover track from 5150 called I Want Some Action. The song was eventually recorded by Steve Lukather. Yeah. And it's known as Twist the Knife.
Right.
It's the same music anyway. And then Van Halen did eventually release a song on Van Halen 3 called Dirty Water Dog that has the same, it's the same riff. It's the same riff for that.
So Alan here says the first time the title Stompin' 8H was ever used was for publishing credit in an SNL retrospective book that came out in the late 90s. Huh.
Oh, so that's when that was originally titled then. Okay.
Yeah.
Because there was no title when he played it.
No, he was just playing this awesome song, and I couldn't believe it. The sound.
It was just, here's Edward Van Halen. Well, did you know he was one of two musical guests that night?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, Valerie Bertinelli hosted. Yeah. Edward was one musical guest. Robert Cray was the second musical guest.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He performed as well. And I have to get something to drink. I will be right back. So ask Steve some questions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no problem.
Be right back.
Yeah. Dan of New Jersey. I would imagine Wolfgang Van Halen is in charge of EVH share of the estate and would have to be in agreement of a release. Oh yeah, Dan, I'd say so too. But Wolfgang's cool, man. I super love what he's doing his own thing with his band, and they're on tour. A buddy of mine here in Victoria has gone to see him twice now, and yeah, I think I just like to see Alex involved, because, you know, like someone that was there for it and with the Van Halen name. So I think the re-release of things, I'd like to see Alex involved. That's just me personally. That'd be cool. Yeah. So we got in the house here. We got Keith Campbell. Sharon's in the house. Alan Garber's here. All Dave, all night, still here. Fret Level Midnight. Nelson Rodriguez. Cool. Yeah, guys, all this music you're talking about is great. It's all good. You can like whatever you want. If you like new metal, death metal, if you like R&B, soul music, blues, whatever, it's all people playing instruments, and it's all good. For me personally, when it comes to some of the metal, if I can't understand what the singer's singing, like that sort of guttural stuff, where I can't even understand what the guy's singing, because I consider the voice, the vocals, one of the instruments, and I want to hear what the vocalist is singing about. So a lot of that stuff, especially from like Northern Europe, where I really like the music, but sometimes that guttural vocal stuff, I don't understand a word of what they're saying. So it kind of gets eliminated as an instrument to me. But what, to each their own. It's all music. It's all good. That's just me personally.
Mm-hmm. And hey, I'll be right back. I gotta shut the chickens in. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Alan, I was going to mention that Foxy Lady for sure was mentioned in his played in his boombox. Yeah, Fret Level Midnight. He's mentioning a lot of different styles of music. Yeah, guys. So I know we're talking about the Wildlife movie. This is a guitar. This is my #1 guitar I play, actually. This is made by Musicraft. This is actually their copy of a Kramer Pacer. And it's a Charvel basic neck, is made by Musicraft. So it's a Musicraft, it's a maple neck. And this is actually a poplar body. Yeah, and it's a Seymour Duncan pickup. This is a 1984 reissue Floyd. The bar's loose on this one. I got the MXR nut. It's kind of similar to a 5150, not the headstock, but just basically all parts wise. This is actually a prototype Floyd nut with humpback saddles. They're pretty expensive, double than normally what you'd pay for one, but I don't know. I get sort of nostalgic about these guitars when I build them, and yeah, just a favorite neck of mine is anything to do with Charvel. For some reason, they just fit my hand. Any of you guitar players, especially if you're new, just go to a guitar shop and pick up every guitar there is. Get a Fender Strat and a Telecaster and a Les Paul and an Ibanez, and go through all the brands. And you know what? If you close your eyes and just play on the fretboard, it's whatever's most comfortable for you. It's really easy to get, sort of sucked in by your favorite player and what they play. But once you're really playing your own stuff and playing in bands and that, for me, it's always just the feel of the neck. And, just when you're, playing with your picking hand, that nothing's getting in your way. It's all about the feel and what's comfortable for you. So, yeah, this one, this 84 Floyd reissue, this is a 37 millimeter brass block. Yeah, and it plays super great. And yeah, no problems. This is my favorite guitar. I built it myself. Just the body and the neck I had built for me by Musicraft. I'll just read some of the comments here. Oh, sorry, I got to go up here for one of the guys. Yeah, Keith, I don't know the weight of this specifically. This color is called, it's actually it's like a Schwinn bike paint. It's called Campus Green. I just like the color green, like almost an army green. Not quite army drab, but it was just a green that I wanted to have my guitars. Just in general, I had to get away from the stripes. We all love our Van Halen guitars and the stripes, but I wanted a color of guitar that I could play and get away from the stripes. So I picked the color green. I said brown, no. Black, no. Red, yellow, no. I said green. That's going to be the color for me. So that's what I went for.
Green. Key lime LaCroix. Hey, Dwight Bailey.
Yeah, Brandon, the tuners, these are called Gatto 90-degree tuners, same as what's on the Kramer 5150. It's kind of that guitar, just I needed something without stripes. Yeah, Fret Level Midnight says he loves how his Kramer Pacer's neck feels. Yep, no, that's the word for me, is the feel, man. If it feels right, great. A lot of these EV8 Stripe Series guitars are R3 at the nut. They're a bit wider. This is a Musicraft. It's R2 at the nut. The strings are a bit closer together. That feels, again, the word feel, feels right to me. A lot of the guys like wider necks where the strings are a bit further apart. And you know what? If that feels right to you, that's great. That's what it's all about. It's I can't say that enough. It's all about the feel. Yeah. Yeah, the nut on this, Keith, is this is called, they're humpback saddles. Like if you look really closely, I don't know if I can get there, but there's kind of a hump in the middle. Newer Floyds, when you get the nut, it kind of comes to a peak, but these are prototype ones from about 1981, 82 probably, where it's a bit of a hump. There's a bit of a hump in the middle. Just a real geeky thing for us Van Halen guys. If I'm going to have something close to a Kramer 5150 build, it has to have the humpback saddles. If you look at Eddie's Kramer 5150, that's what's on it. So of course I had to go that direction. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So let's see. So song wise, what's the next track on that
Yeah,
CD
yeah. So after Peeping Tom, yeah, there's a cool song on this thing. It's called Driving, and I guess someone's driving around town, and it's a really finger picking thing that Eddie does, plucking these notes. It's sort of different for him, sort of finish what you started, like, in a way. But yeah, that's the next musical thing that we hear basically on this release, and this is all in sequence. Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, like we said, there's a lot of tracks that you know, Van Halen News Desk, they released several of them some years back, but there's a lot of tracks that's buried within dialogue. So there's more Van Halen music in the movie than
yeah.
If you think, unless you've seen the movie, even if you've seen the movie, I guarantee you there's musical cues that you don't remember.
Yeah, one of the first scenes, when first time you see Leah Thompson, she's in the donut shop, like moving donuts around under the rack, and there's Eddie's doing some harmonic thing that isn't listed here or on here. So there's little musical vignettes or whatever that are just a few seconds long that aren't even listed here.
Yeah, but again, when I was a kid, when I first saw the movie, I had this tape recorder, so I was taping all this stuff off the TV. You know, so I could listen to it. But yeah, and then a lot of this stuff, you know, like we said, did turn into other songs later on. What's like another one? What's like another one that?
Well, I just wanted to ask you this, Johnny. There's the Stompin' 8H, and then there's the song from the 5150 sessions called "I Want Action." But didn't that riff appear on A Different Kind of Truth in one of the songs?
That I don't know.
Yeah, I got to listen to that again. I thought it was in there somewhere. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, Ned? Is that true?
So there's a song, the next one we hear on this unreleased score thing. It's called the Love Theme. It's about 1 minute and 10 seconds long. It's this slow progression and then Ed soloing on top of it. Yeah, so I don't know. I can't remember what scene that was exactly, but it's called Love Theme on this. So yeah, probably maybe two of the people were together somewhere.
Yeah, maybe. But let's see. What other, and yeah, as far as like we said, those other tunes, I don't remember the Andy Summers song even being in the movie.
Huh.
That's called Human Shout. But some of the other ones, they are. I mean, they're either played out of the boom box or you hear them like in the bowling alley scenes. But
Yeah,
the majority of the music that you hear actually within like the apartment scenes or the Donut City themes or the Fashion Dynasty department store, they're all Eddie Van Halen. It's all Eddie's music underneath.
yeah, so Alan says here, Love Theme was definitely played on Ed's yellow 83 Kramer Pacer Deluxe with the white pickguard. That's Alan's stance, and he's sticking to it.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, that's cool. Yeah, but Alan and I were discussing, he mentioned it while you were gone, Johnny, that the Jimi Hendrix songs were played over the Elon's boombox. The Foxy Lady and Hey Joe were played over his boombox. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, as he's walking like through like the bowling alley.
Yeah, or when he breaks into the school, he's in the school hallway at the beginning, sitting there. I think that's where.
Yeah.
I think Foxy Lady might have been playing. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, Ned.
So next on the list here is the 11th track. It's called Top Down, and it's just a rocking song.
I love that tune.
Yeah.
I love that one. Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one that reminds me of the music for what became Can't Get This Stuff No More.
Oh, okay.
Some of that Top Down reminds me of that.
Right. Yeah.
And let me see, what other ones can I think of? There's actually there's a couple. Was it when they're in Fashion Dynasty and the Leah Thompson, Rick Moranis calls Leah Thompson's character and says, "Hey, there's somebody shoplifting. There's somebody they're just put a scarf or a hat in their bag or a shirt. I want you to confront them."
Yeah.
So if you guys see that scene, what you're hearing eventually was part of a musical session that eventually became a song called what is it? Strung Out on Balance.
Yeah.
where Edward is playing the piano.
Yeah.
And he's making a bunch of noises with it. You hear like sawing sounds, and I think he's throwing batteries at the keys and stuff, at the piano keys. Yeah. Yeah. That originally was what you hear on Balance was originally recorded for the Wildlife. And so you do hear some of that. You hear more of it. You hear more of that during this one scene, during that. And then there's another scene in the film where I want to say what's his name? The Weird Science kid.
Elon.
There's a scene where he's trying to impress the girl, and he lays down in the parking lot of the bowling alley. And the girl and the two guys that she's with, they drive past him. Anyway, the music you hear from that eventually, that was some keyboard music. Eventually, you would hear that Eddie would play that during the 1984 tour, while David Lee Roth was jumping around with a sword.
Yeah. So Alan says that piano piece was the thing Eddie recorded on Marvin Hamlish's piano, where he threw keys at the piano strings.
Yeah, there was like apparently hours of tape of that. And you heard it first in the Wildlife, and then you heard it later on Balance. And it's the exact same perform. Well, it's not the exact same performance, but it's the same session. It's the same recording because when you hear it, you can tell. You can tell that.
Yeah.
And then what's another? What's the next song?
Well, I guess for me, I mean, when you get to song 12, for me, like one of my favorite tracks by Eddie Van Halen, period. Like for me, it's always been Cabo Wabo is basically my favorite song by the band. I would say, there's Ripley I mentioned is in a top 10 for me, but really, I know Jump was huge on keyboards when it was first heard. It was played everywhere. Certainly Dreams held a lot of weight with me. Love Walks In, like as far as the keyboard stuff, but for whatever reason, the end titles of this movie, this title, it's called Back to School. Like still to this day, when I hear the riff in that piano, man, I heard it today and I still get goosebumps the same as I did when I was 15. Like 35 years ago, and I still get the same like goosebumps. Like you can't fake this. When your hair on your arms go up when you hear something, I still get it. The same vibe, man. And that's the end titles. When the credits roll, it's the song's called Back to School. That's what it's called everywhere, I think, as far as I know. And then, Johnny, I wanted to ask you, there's a moment in this movie somewhere where the riff for Right Now appears.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then you're talking about the end of this song where the seduction of Gina starts.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to the Right Now theme. Yeah, I think the Right Now theme is played while the Weird Science Kid and the other guy while they're walking.
Oh, okay.
I think it might actually be either they're walking to meet Charlie or as they're leaving Charlie's place. You might hear that cue.
Yeah.
What eventually became Right Now. The piece that you're talking about, I've always loved that piece as well.
Yeah, it's beyond. It's the word for me. It's like majestic, and it's always that goosebump thing when I hear it. Just the buildup of that, and a lot of people don't like the keyboard stuff that Eddie did, but this is when I really disagree. I said, well, you heard Back to School from the Wildlife? Well, no. Well, there you go. It has that vibe about it. Whether it's Jump, I'll Wait, but this for me is even more than that. I don't know if it's because it's not because it's on this rare release. It's just because it gives me goosebumps like the other ones don't. So yeah, that's what it's all about for me.
It's just a real happy tune.
Yeah, it is. It totally is.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah. And some people hear it and they're like, wait, that kind of sounds like Jump a little bit, but not. Yeah. I mean, it's very similar. I would say it's the same. It's probably the same keyboard sound actually as Jump.
Yeah, it's just slightly different pattern, and it has a bit more of a it's a bit of a progression to it. Yeah, it just goes around a little bit more than the other stuff like Jump or I'll
There's
Wait.
A lot more going on the treble side. There's a lot more stuff being played. Joe? Is it Frazzy or
Freezy?
Frazzy? Joe is saying, yeah, there's a long version of that ending part because in the movie it fades out.
Yeah.
But there's a longer version that has more of it. And he's saying exactly what you were saying. You hear where he does some change ups at the end.
Yeah.
That change up that you hear, one of those change ups, that's a little keyboard riff, which actually showed up in a TV movie another TV movie that Eddie did the soundtrack to. Actually, he did 2 or 3 songs for that. This film called The Seduction of Gina, which featured Valerie Bertinelli. I think it was on CBS, I think. And anyway, there's a I guess we'll talk about it now. Eddie does the opening credits scene where Valerie is walking. Well, that's her name. It's Gina in the movie. She's walking through San Francisco. Movie was shot on location in San Francisco. And Anyway, as she's walking through, what's the, I should know this because I'm from here. She's walking through the like the strip club area, like Big Al's, and I forget what is it, North Beach? What's that area? Anyway, the music you hear, that's an Edward Van Halen piece, and you actually hear some of that in the ending of the ending credits of Wildlife, which is which they're calling Back to School. You actually hear that keyboard riff in that. But that keyboard riff becomes a whole other song for the intro to The Seduction of Gina.
Wow, there it is. Yeah, so a bunch of guys had some stuff to say. I'm just going to track back for a second. Yeah. So Alan says, I always thought that Back to School piece that plays over the credits could have been a big hit if Dave could have put lyrics to it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it just has, like, if Jump was huge and that was like their #1 hit with Dave, I mean, this one could have been right along with it for sure. I sort of agree with that.
You know what I mean, I hear the song in my head. I can hear exactly. I can hear it.
Yeah.
When I hear that, the ending credit theme for Wildlife, when I hear that, what Edward is playing on the keyboard, to me, actually, it actually sounds like what he's playing is possibly a vocal melody. Yeah, because there's so much going on.
Yeah,
it's almost like he's playing what Dave could have actually sang, if you think about it, like the right hand.
Yeah,
think about
yeah.
Because it goes down, 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 down. He's playing basically a vocal melody with this
and it's surprising. And you know what's even more surprising to me, of course, is that Sammy Hagar wouldn't have picked up on that. Like maybe at some point, maybe it was never played to Sammy. But if he had heard that, he would have launched into some amazing song about eagles or something, right? Like, yeah, like I could see Sammy really ripping on that because of that melody you're talking about.
Yeah. Stack of pound cakes. Thank you. Broadway Street in San Francisco. Okay. And what, by the way, Big Al's is still there. I've never been in there, but I've walked past it. Yeah. So yeah, that part. I mean, to me, it sounds like Eddie is playing like possibly what could have been. It's possible they'd worked on that and Dave had a melody for it, or maybe that was the idea that Eddie would have gave Dave if they had worked that song up. Because it's so busy. Like, Jump is just dun dun. I mean, Jump is very, very simple.
It has gaps. Yeah.
It has gaps. But the song we're talking about, there's so much going on. Actually, both hands, there's so much going on with that.
Yeah.
And if you stop and think about it, it actually sounds like he could be playing like what could have been a vocal melody.
Yeah, so that's what I was getting at with that. When you said the word sort of busy, like both hands.
Because it's a song within itself. It's not just a keyboard part. I mean, that's why you're saying it's giving you goosebumps, because it's more than just like a part. It's like a whole. It's like a song within a song, and it has guitar. There's guitar. There's tapping. There's guitar solos going on. There's the horse. There's all this. I mean,
that's why I was getting at. It's basically like it's one of my top 5 pieces that he's ever done.
I agree. I agree with you there too, man.
Yeah, like band wise with Sammy, I like Cobble Wobble for sure. And then there's the Saturday Night Live performance. Then there's this with the keyboards. That's my top 3 kind of right there, because there's so much going on there, and different than Dreams and Love Walks In. There's little gaps in those chord progressions, whereas this is like there's both things happening at the same time. So that's why it's always escalated as one of my favorite things, and every time I talk about it, I get the goosebumps. Yeah. So Alan says here, he had to have recorded that song during the 1984 sessions, he figures. Yeah.
Probably, because to me it sounds like the same sound as Jump, the same.
So he says, Alan says, definitely the Oberheim OB8 and OBXA synth, just like Jump and I'll Wait. Yeah.
Now that I think about it, that the ending credit keyboard tune, that actually, if you think about it, you can kind of hear Dreams in there. Think about dun 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 dun, and then this has
Yeah.
dun 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 dun. You know what I mean? So
I know.
it's similar.
Yeah, it's there. So Keith Campbell asks, was this the first recorded music in 5150? So this, do you think this was when was this recorded, this Wild Light stuff? Do you think that, was it after?
I would say, no, I would say it was probably recorded during 84. I would say it was recorded during 83 because the movie came out in 84.
So it was before Van Halen went on tour then. So 1984 album wasn't even done yet?
It was before yeah, because Eddie had to leave to go on tour when the music was being mixed.
Right.
So I would say it was done same time as the 84 album.
So what Keith is saying here, that this could be the first stuff that was recorded at 5150. That could be possible, couldn't it?
Either it's the first stuff being recorded, or you could say it was the first. Well, when did the movie came out? Now we're getting really nerdy. Okay, The Wildlife was released in September of 84.
Yeah.
When was the 1984 album released?
New Year's Eve 83.
New Year's Eve 83. So December, January 84.
Yeah.
Okay, so if
hard to say, I
guess. Yeah. So it was the same time period.
Yeah.
Eddie did a lot of instrumental solo stuff during 83, 84. This time period, he did a lot of stuff. He did this, The Wildlife. He did the Seduction of Gina that we just talked about. That was done in 83.
Yeah.
He did the Starfleet project, which was done in 83 as well. There's probably something else I'm blanking on, but yeah, he did a lot of stuff during that time period, and it is some of my favorite. I mean, I love everything that he ever did, but it is definitely some of my favorite stuff. You know, I mean, this sound, Beat It. Thank you, Keith Campbell. Beat It was actually done a little earlier.
Yeah,
that was done in 82.
Yeah, Keith, again, I mentioned it before. I got this from discogs.com. You can look at it. And I know Top of the World riff came from the end of Jump. If you listen to the song Jump, listen to the end of Jump. You're going to hear a little run that Eddie does. And that's the opening riff of what became Top of the World. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's true. And no, I don't know. Somebody, who is it? Was Starfleet recorded at 5150? No, that was recorded a studio that Brian May was at. That was Brian May's project.
Yeah.
Dr. Brian May.
Yeah. Fret Level Midnight says 1983. The good old years before I existed. It's good to have you here, Fret Level. We like having young lads in here.
Man.
Keith, I know you're saying it sounds like demos, but you know what? It's just Eddie doing instrumental stuff. I mean, that's why it sounds like demos, because there's no lyrics. So that's why, like at the beginning of the show,
I would say some of them were probably demos, because some of them just have drum machine beats.
Absolutely.
Like Donut City is a drum machine. You know? I mean, I would say, excuse me, I would say that this soundtrack has the very first Van Halen song, Eddie Van Halen song, commercially released with a drum machine on it.
Yeah.
It's not real drums. I think Alex was possibly on some of the other stuff, like the Out the Window, possibly. Although Eddie played drums too. Eddie played bass.
Yeah.
It could have, a lot of it could have been Eddie on all of it.
Yeah. So Mad Dog asks, wasn't 1984 the first record done there? From my perspective, yes. That's the first Van Halen album that was done in 5150. Sorry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then guys are asking about Beat It, Johnny. Was Beat It, was that recorded at 5150 and sent, or was that done somewhere else?
I was done somewhere else.
Like met up with Quincy Jones and did it somewhere else? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Edwin Crane, that's exactly why we're here. We want you to find this film and have a watch. There's the story in that, but of course for us, it's all about just listening to the music, and you're going to hear stuff and realize, oh wow, you know, there's this riff in there in this song, and it sounds like good enough. And yeah, that's what it became. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess spoiler alert if you didn't want to know any of this stuff, you know. But I mean, it's been a long time, and let me see. A lot of people know of this. I'd be interested to see that new Blu-ray of this film.
Yeah, because Alan's definitely saying that a lot of the songs are cut out, so it's not going to have the same vibe. That's for sure.
The commercial songs, not the Eddie songs, right?
I would assume so. Yeah.
The Eddie songs wouldn't have been cut out.
Yeah, but just for me to sit there and, you know, our friend Elon is in a secondary school, and what's going to be playing over his ghetto blaster? Nothing.
Yeah, they do that for a lot of there's actually one of my favorite shows growing up, The Greatest American Hero.
Yeah.
With William Catt.
Yeah.
That whole series was released on DVD in 2005. I was actually just talking to somebody on one of Caleb's threads on Facebook, because somebody had mentioned something about, it was about Hinckley. Apparently he's out, and he's like a singer songwriter now, and so he's like releasing music or something, and something like that. And somebody under Caleb's thread was saying, oh, you know, it's because of him that Mr. H had to change his name in The Greatest American Hero, which is true. In the TV show, his name was Ralph Hinckley, but they changed it to Ralph Hanley. And then they changed it back to Hinckley later on. But what I'm trying to say is, on that DVD, if you watch some of those episodes, some of the music in the TV show, it's obvious that song that's all of a sudden playing that boombox was recorded 20 years later or 30 years later. That wasn't originally in the show when the show aired, because this show aired in 83. Yeah. That's not a song from that era.
Right.
You know? So that kind of spoils it. So maybe the music, maybe some of the music in the Blu-ray DVD of this movie will be kind of weird, but
yeah. So one of our people in the chat here, his title here is "I'll Never Be Dave."
Oh.
He says the movie was a dog, and you know what, Dave? Like anybody can say anything they want about movies or music, especially like art that someone puts on their wallet, man. If it speaks to you personally in any way and you like it and love it, by all means, that's what it's all about. Is, you know, I don't care if someone rates this movie like 2 out of 10. For me, it's one of the movies I grew up on, and it has Eddie Van Halen in the music. It's just like, it's huge. With all, like, songs like Ripley and Back to School. I mean, it's a huge mark on me. So anybody can give this a bad rating. That's fine. It's all personal opinion. And yeah, so that's what I stand with that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, the movie's great, and it takes you right back to that time.
Yep.
And again, if you like, right, Ned? What do you think? If you like Eddie Van Halen, which I mean, a lot of you that are here, I mean, this is a a Van Halen channel. If you love Van Halen, this is the place you want to be. But yeah, check it out if you haven't seen it. And again, I don't think we've spoiled anything. I mean, we've told you, stuff to look out for and whatever. But I think if you've never seen the movie and you were to watch it, you would still be surprised.
Yeah.
By a lot of it.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I mean, it's a funny movie. I mean, it's basically I mean, it's like a comedy drama, or dramedy.
Yeah.
Is that the word?
That's a new word. Ned's pretty relaxed there.
Oh, he loves this. Look at him. He's purring. He purrs. So I feel him. I feel him purring.
That's that kind of cat. They call that a tabby. A tabby. That's the name of the style of that cat.
I guess.
With the stripes on them.
He stretches. He wants to go outside soon because it's getting.
Uh-oh.
It's getting time to go outside pretty soon. It's supposed to storm here though, like possibly Sunday.
Stephen Franklin, $5.
Steven, thank you so much. Well, that's Google money, so it's like, Google gets 30% of that.
Yeah. So Stephen says, it's like the movie Twister. I love humans being, but there was something that I really love about the tune Respect the Wind. Oh yeah, man. It's all what does it for you. Believe me, I get people ripping on me that my favorite Van Halen song ever is from OU812. People throw knives in my
Dude, you should stop telling people that.
Oh yeah, so I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. When I hear that riff cranked in my car or anywhere, forget about it. It's over. Done. Yeah.
Yeah. Who said the wildlife was a dog? I have to say the movie Twister was it wasn't my favorite movie in the world. The only reason I even went to see the movie was because of the Van Halen songs in the movie.
Right.
I went several times for the theater because especially at the end, the ending credits for Twister has Respect the Wind. It's like a super long version of it. Well, I mean, the theatrical ending of it. Because there was actually 2 versions of that released. Yeah, there you go, Keith Campbell.
Yeah,
there was a version on the instrumental score version that was longer.
Yeah.
Again, that has Edward on guitar with the sustainer, and then Alex playing the piano or keyboard, I think.
Yeah. There was a dog movie that Kevin Costner was in, Waterworld. It cost like millions of dollars or whatever, and it totally bombed. But you know what? If it's ever on a Sunday when I'm sitting around, I watch the whole thing, no problem. Because I kind of, just the way he's on his own out in the water in this new world, the polar ice caps have melted and it's all water everywhere. And I dig it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's my opinion. I like it.
I've never seen it. I know of it.
There you go. Well, you need to see Waterworld. There's another viewing session we have to do.
I've never seen most movies, but I have seen The Wildlife.
There you go.
I can actually say I've seen this movie many times. And I want to watch it now. I don't have a DVD player. My new computers don't come with DVD players anymore. So I've got the DVD. Thank you to Steve Anderson.
Oh.
But I can't even watch it. Although I did see at Target, they had a little DVD writer. It was like $20-$30. If you get one of those, it'll play too, right? Probably.
On what story, Johnny?
At Target, I saw a little DVD rewritable drive. I mean, the thing's it's like super thin, super small.
Yeah, as long as a DVD can fit, it'll probably play it. Yeah,
but it would have to have a program though, and some DVD programs you have to pay to be able to get the program to work on your computer because they have watermarks. Like the program itself puts a huge watermark over your movie.
Yeah, I've got an Xbox for video games. It plays CDs, DVDs, it plays everything. Just my little Xbox that I play, like 3 games I play on my Xbox, but it plays CDs, DVDs, and everything.
Do you play Grand Theft Auto?
Like this movie, Johnny, my video game experience is pretty much stuck in the 80s. Yeah.
Well, hey, speaking of video games, you guys, a little later on tonight after dinner time, I'll be live over on Twitch doing some Grand Theft Auto.
Whoa.
We had a great time last night, man. Me, Robot Master Switch. Who else was there? We had a great time last night because we go live in the Discord as well. So there's a voice channel and people, can talk to us and oh, Gargot's Entertainment was there. So anyway, yeah, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/JohnnyBeane. There's the link in the chat. I'll be playing some Grand Theft Auto there later on after dinner, probably 7:30. Probably in a few hours, I'll be live over there. Yeah, we're building up the channel over there, man. We're having a great time. We had a great stream last night. It was awesome. There was a bunch of people there. It was great.
Nice.
It was great. I got to get something else again really quickly.
No sweat. I got the chat here. So
okay.
Keith Campbell is talking 80s video games. Galaga. Yeah, Keith, I've got like all the 80s games like on one disc. So there's like Dig Dug, Joust, all the Pac-Mans, Miss Pac-Mans, Pole Position. I'm like really good at pole position for some reason. Yeah, and you know what? Like a lot of those games I've been playing since I was a kid, I never finished some of them. I think Dig Dug I actually finished. I like rolled the numbers past 1 million, and so that was good. But yeah, I never really mastered all of them. But I'm sure there's books out there you can buy on all these video games from the past, and they all have their tricks. But yeah, then there's some sports ones like hockey and soccer, the EA Sports new ones I'll play, the sports ones. Stack of pound cakes in the house. Yeah, cool. Yeah, Keith Pong. Yeah, we had that. That was the first video game we had back in like, oh God, like 1981. Yeah, I went through a few different things there. There was there was Pong, and then there was, I guess, Atari. Then there was ColecoVision, because that had Donkey Kong. And then then there was like Intellivision, was the baseball was amazing. So we had Intellivision. Then there was the Sega Genesis for like Street Fighter and all those. Yeah, so and then there's PlayStation and Xbox, and that's the whole run, really. Yeah, Edwin, I know what you mean. Yeah, the best games have cheats to open the programmer's menu. Yeah. Oh yeah, Steven, there was well, those are the early ones. Yeah, Asteroids and what was the other one? Space Invaders. Dwight Bailey.
Yeah.
In the house.
Dwight Bailey. So wildlife. What else? Is there anything else? Is there anything?
We've gone through the tracks. We've talked about all the actors and actresses in it. And yeah, it's just our recommendation as a Van Halen fans. Some of you mentioned you haven't even heard of the thing, and yeah, watch the movie. I think you'll be entertained, and lock into one of the characters. That's usually what happens to me. So me, it's Eric Stoltz's younger brother with the ghetto blaster. He's the kid I locked into when I was young, and he was super cool. Listening to Jimi Hendrix, and but then the music. It's all about the music. Is listening for it, and you're gonna hear Eddie on there. Johnny's holding up this. You got Bananarama. Yeah, Peter Case, Hand Over Fist. Louis Goffin with Charlotte Caffrey. You got Charlie Sexton with Ron Wood. from the Stones. We got Van Stevenson, Andy Summers from the Police. Hello. The 3 o'clock, Edward Van Halen. What is this? Yeah, so there's lots of stuff. There's even stuff that's not even on there. There's like Steppenwolf. If you get some, to hear the original score, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very interesting. Hey, John Biel. John Biel's here. Yeah, dude, we're talking wildlife, man. We're talking wildlife, man.
Here goes
I was gonna say though, if we want to wrap it up as far as the wildlife, here's what we can do. This is actually a trick that I learned. Let me see.
He's gonna stop this show and start another one.
Well, besides that's one idea. I mean, we could, if you want. I mean, you're hanging out. Do we want to do that? Where's the poll, actually? Here, let's check this poll. 85 votes. Have you seen this film? 59% no.
Wow.
41% yes. So a lot of people here haven't even seen it.
No.
Man. Well, hey, everybody, here's the big surprise. We're going to jump in the station wagon. We're going to go to the drive-in, and we're going to watch it. All of us.
We're going to go to... We're gonna go to In-N-Out Burger in the station, our Partridge Family bus. Okay, we're gonna go. Come on, get happy. We're gonna go down. We're gonna get a bunch of In-N-Out burgers, animal style, with Caleb, and go to a drive-in and watch the wildlife. Wouldn't that be great?
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Okay, so I think wildlife wise, I think we're wrapping it up. I think we're good. Again, if you've made it through, if you're watching this on replay, you've made it all the way to here. If you like Van Halen, this is the place you want to be. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell. Join all the Van Halen groups on Facebook. I run a bunch of them. Van Halen 1974 to forever. EVH Gear Fans Live. That's me. I'm on Instagram as well. EVH Gear Fans Live. EVH Gear Live. If you guys follow that on Instagram, that's me. Johnny Bean TV on Facebook. Follow the groups. Let me just say thank you to our channel members. Thank you so much for all your support for all these shows. Thank you. And then let me see if I can do, how can I, let me think. Can I do this? I have a quick idea. If I can do this. I thought there was a trick that I could do, but I'm not seeing. Well, actually, let me play the ending credits, and then we'll see if we can try it. And you guys, we might come back. Do you want to come back for a little bit?
Oh yeah, man.
You're having a good time. You're just getting started, man. No.
I'm only on my third beer in my first round. I've got like 8 hours to go.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna end this stream. Actually, let me go through the ending credits and then see if I can try something I'm thinking about doing. And then if not, just don't go anywhere, you guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Steve Campbell, dude, thank you. Steve Campbell, she's warmed up. Okay, now if I can try this, is there a way I can do this? There's a trick that I heard of. I don't know if I can do it. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose the video. Okay, I'm gonna stop this video. There we go.
Yeah, and then you can start another one, or you could go to your, what's the other one called? Daily Clips or whatever.
The second channel.
Yeah, we were on that one time for like 5 hours once.
I know. I know.
You're like, oh
actually,
man, I got to get views on my other channel.
Yeah, I know.
And you put a banner up, and I had like all my 5150 guitars I was holding up.
Okay, here's a poll in the chat. We still got people here. Answer the poll before I end the show. Hurry, let's get some
9 votes.
Do you see it?
There.
Do you see
it? Yeah.
All right, vote now. Vote now. Vote now. Vote now. Should we stay live? Meaning, do you want us to come back? I'm gonna end this video, and do you want us just to pop back on and just hang out with you guys? That's a separate video, because I want to keep this video I want to keep this video right now dedicated to the subject, because a lot of people are gonna be searching for this later.
Sure.
So 18 votes, 89. Okay, 89%. Stay alive. Okay. All right. So we'll be right back, you guys. I'll create another session. So come back. Come back. Wait, can I do that? Can I actually create another session? I can. All right. Or here's
Charlie S. Charlie S. wants us back. Edwin wants us back. Kevin wants us back. Kevin wants to show me 50 guitars.
Okay. All right. Watch this, you guys. I can actually create another session while we're actually still live in this one. So I can give you guys the link to the next show. What do you want to call our next show, real quick? How do you spell that?
Late night with the Rummeister.
How do you spell Rummeister?
RUMMEISTER.
Then what's the date? 10/22?
Yeah.
Late night with the Rummeister. Okay, I won't put anything there. Schedule. Okay, do we need a thumbnail? It'll just be the Johnny Beane TV thumbnail.
Yeah.
All right, create broadcast. Wait, I might have. Can I start it at the same time? We'll try this. Late night with the Rummeister. Let's see, we'll do Johnny Beane TV. We'll do Twitter. We'll do Johnny Beane. Heck, we'll be talking Van Halen, obviously. Okay, so we'll go back. We'll go live back everywhere else where we're live now. Johnny Beane, customized 9:30. Wait, what time is it? It's 7:38. 10 minutes before. Okay, 7. We'll set it for 7:50. Although we'll go live though immediately. 1, 2. All right, we got everything. Customize. Late night with the Rummeister, 10:22. All right, don't split, you guys. Create. Oh wait, a description is required. Ah, crap. Hang on. Facebook wants a description. Come on, Facebook. Rock on. Wait a minute. Gotta give Facebook all these descriptions. Rock on. Boy, you got 50 people watching this. I'm hurrying. Oh, wait. 50, 55, create. All right, you guys should get an alert right now for another show. There it is. You guys should have just gotten an alert for another show. I'm going to give you guys the link to that. You guys are going to jump in. We're basically going to raid our other show.
Stack of Pound Cakes wants me to change my shirt. I can do that.
All right, he's changing his clothes. What's the error, Nick? Usually temporary. I just got an error. Or not. No, I didn't. It's fine. Okay. All right, here's the link. Although most of you guys should have just got an alert. Everybody jump over there. Everybody jump over. Is it 15W? 15W. There it is. There's the link. Everybody jump over to that link right there. Click on that link. Raid that video. We'll be live in there. As soon as I hit stop here, we'll be live in there. Jump over there. All right, Stephen Franklin's there. I see you. Everybody, we got 50 people there. Everybody, jump over there. Jump over. Jump over. Jump over in the chat. Keith Campbell, all day, all night. I see you. Late Night with the Rummeister live, 10/22/21. Everybody, jump over. Charlie S. All right, so we're going to go live over there. As soon as I hit stop here, we'll go live. No pants allowed. Oh, my gosh. All right, I'm going to end this video. Thank you again, everybody, for watching us. Again, if you like Van Halen, this is the place you want to be. And if you haven't seen the wildlife, check it out. All right. Jump over there. Bye.